YouTube, one of the biggest online video sharing platforms, is again cracking down on ad blockers, forcing ads, and pop-up warnings like you did something wrong. And yeah, at first glance, it feels like a greedy move. But what if I told you this is actually one of the smartest and weirdly healthiest decisions YouTube has made in years? I know, that sounds insane, because ads are annoying, nobody likes them. Skippable or not, they break the experience. And you're probably thinking, why should I care? YouTube's already a billion-dollar company. Totally fair. But here's the part almost nobody's talking about. This ad blocker crackdown isn't really about YouTube at all. It's about what happens to creators, content quality, and the future of the platform when ads quietly disappear from the system. In the early 2010s, fewer than 5% of internet users had ad blockers installed. Today, that number has jumped to 40% of users worldwide. That represents a leap from around 40 million users to over 600 million devices actively blocking ads, a dramatic shift in behavior in less than a decade. And the financial impact is staggering. In 2024, ad blockers cost publishers an estimated $54 billion in lost ad revenue, representing about 8% of total global digital ad spending. In YouTube specifically, the rise of long, unskippable pre-rolls and pervasive tracking pushed millions of users towards ad blockers, not out of protest, but simply to save time, protect privacy, and regain control. When you put the numbers together, the tales start to change. Blocking has evolved from a niche experiment to a normalized behavior, creating a direct challenge to platforms like YouTube that rely on advertising to survive. By the early 2020s, YouTube had grown into one of the largest bandwidth consumers on Earth, delivering billions of hours of high-definition video every day. But a growing share of that audience was contributing zero revenue. Ads weren't just being skipped, they were being erased. At a small scale, that's manageable. At YouTube scale, it's financially unsustainable. And that's why ad blockers stopped being something YouTube could quietly tolerate and became something it had to actively confront. While ad blockers were quietly spreading across the internet, something massive was happening on YouTube. The platform was rapidly growing. Every year, more people are watching, uploading, and creating content than ever before. YouTube has consistently remained one of the largest consumers of global internet bandwidth. 10 years ago, YouTube served about 1.2 billion monthly users. Today, that number has more than doubled, crossing 2.7 billion people worldwide. Back then, most videos stopped at 1080p. Now, 4K, HDR, high frame rate video, and live streams are the norm, each stream carrying several times more data than before. A decade ago, roughly 100 to 200 hours of video were uploaded every minute. Today, creators upload over 500 hours of content every single minute. Yet, despite this massive scale, only 125 million users pay for YouTube Premium. More than 95% rely on the platform for free, funded almost entirely by ads. When you put these numbers side by side, the problem becomes clear. YouTube's costs have exploded, but the number of people directly paying for the service hasn't. In YouTube's early years, that imbalance was survivable. Costs were lower, videos were smaller, and the audience was smaller. But at today's scale, even a small percentage of ad-blocked views translates into billions of dollars in lost revenue, while infrastructure costs continue to rise. So from YouTube's perspective, allowing widespread ad blocking isn't just inconvenient, it's financially unsustainable. Either users pay directly or ads pay on their behalf. There is no third option that keeps the platform alive. When people talk about YouTube ads, the story is usually framed as a greedy multi-billion-dollar platform forcing users to sit through interruptions just to make more money. But that framing misses how YouTube actually works. Ads aren't an optional feature, they are the foundation of the platform. Unlike Netflix or Spotify, YouTube doesn't pay creators upfront and then charge users a subscription. Creators upload first, fund the production themselves, and only earn after their videos perform. When an ad plays, the advertiser pays YouTube, and YouTube shares roughly 55% of that revenue with the creator, keeping the rest to operate the platform. This system has scaled massively. YouTube's ad revenue has grown from under $10 billion in the late 2010s to over $36 billion in 2024. And between 2021 and 2023 alone, YouTube paid creators more than $70 billion. As YouTube's user base and watch time continue to grow, so does advertiser demand, which is why the platform introduces more ad formats and placements just to create enough inventory to fund that growth. At the same time, widespread ad blocker removes monetized impressions from the system, shrinking creator earnings directly. As such, YouTube respond predictably by adding more ad slots for remaining viewers, stronger pushes towards premium subscriptions, and tighter enforcement against ad blocking. This isn't about punishment or greed, it's about sustainability. When ads are blocked at scale, YouTube still survives, but creators feel the impact immediately. And once you see ads not as an annoyance, but as the payment mechanism that keeps free content alive, the question stops being "why is YouTube forcing ads on me?" and becomes something much harder to ignore. How does free content survive without them?
As monetization pressure reached a breaking point, YouTube stopped tolerating ad blockers and began pushing back openly. Across Reddit and Twitter, users voiced outrage. YouTube is cracking down on ad block users. Pay or disable, one Reddit post read. Another complained, over the last 3 days, YouTube has gone into overdrive of cracking down on ad block. I swear to God, I'm not crazy, but I feel like my browser is being artificially slowed down. On X, users accused YouTube of greed. One user posted, genuinely don't know how anyone can watch YouTube these days without some type of ad blocker. But behind the backlash was a deliberate strategy. YouTube introduced warning pop-ups, restricted playback, and in some cases, degraded performance for users detected running ad blocking tools. At the same time, it deployed more advanced measures like server-side ad insertion, stitching ads directly into video streams so they can't be easily blocked. AdBlock developers responded with rapid updates to bypass these defenses, triggering a constant cat-and-mouse game where YouTube tightens controls, blockers adapt, and users are caught in the middle. What makes this conflict different is that it isn't just technical, it's contractual. Using ad blockers to bypass ads violates YouTube's terms of service, which prohibit interfering with or circumventing the service. From YouTube's perspective, this isn't punishment, it's enforcement. The platform is absorbing soaring infrastructure costs as hundreds of hours of high-resolution video are uploaded every minute, while ad blocker usage continues to thin its primary revenue source. Allowing widespread ad blocking to persist indefinitely would undermine the very system that pays creators and keeps access free. That's why YouTube keeps nudging users toward a choice: allow ads or pay for premium. This crackdown didn't appear overnight. It's the result of years of mounting pressure finally reaching a point where the value exchange had to be enforced, not implied. At this point, many users find themselves trapped in an uncomfortable middle ground. On one side is YouTube Premium, the official solution. Pay a monthly fee and ads disappear. Videos play uninterrupted, downloads are unlocked, and creators still get paid. But for millions of users, especially outside high-income regions, that price feels steep. This isn't about unwillingness to pay, it's about affordability. On the other side is ad blocking, which is free, instant, and effective. With a single extension, ads vanish. But that convenience comes with friction. YouTube can detect blockers, slow playback, restrict videos, or insert ads in ways blockers can't bypass. What once felt like effortless control now turns into a quiet tug of war with the platform itself.
That tension defines the modern YouTube experience. Pay for premium and preserve the system, but at a cost many struggle to justify. Block ads and keep things free, but accept interruptions, warnings, and instability. Neither option is perfect, and neither is frictionless. Yet the situation isn't as binary as it feels. Viewers still have choices: subscribing if YouTube is a daily habit, selectively supporting creators they genuinely value, or simply accepting short interruptions as the price of free access. The point isn't that ad blockers are evil or that users are wrong, it's that removing ads entirely breaks something much larger than individual annoyance. And once you look at the big picture, this dilemma isn't really about ads at all. It's about how free platforms survive without quietly collapsing under the weight of their own success. While viewers debate whether to pay for premium or block ads, creators are stuck in a far more fragile position. They're the ones producing the content people come to YouTube for: the tutorials, documentaries, comedy, and commentary, yet their income depends on a system they have almost no control over. Every ad that doesn't play is lost revenue, and unlike large companies, most creators don't have diversified income streams. For many, ad revenue pays for cameras, software, editing time, and basic living expenses. As ad blocking increased, creators were quietly forced to adapt. Sponsorships, merchandise, memberships, and Patreon became essential just to stay afloat. For a few, that meant more independence. For many smaller creators, it meant instability, constantly balancing monetization against the risk of pushing viewers away. When you think of it, this stops being a debate about ad blockers altogether. It becomes a question of what kind of YouTube survives long-term. Platforms don't collapse overnight, they decay slowly. And the first thing to disappear isn't the site itself, but the creators that make it worth visiting. Ads, imperfect as they are, provide stability, a baseline that lets creators take risks and keep showing up even when a video doesn't go viral. So when YouTube pushes back against ad blockers, it isn't just protecting revenue, it's protecting the conditions that allow meaningful content to exist at all, and ultimately shaping what kind of platform you'll be scrolling through 5 years from now. The next time you open a YouTube video and see a warning asking you to disable your ad blocker, pause for a moment and look past the irritation. This isn't just about an inconvenience or a personal preference, it's about how a massive platform like YouTube sustains itself. Content at this scale is never truly free. Someone always pays for it. The real question has never been whether ads are annoying. We already know they are. The deeper question is what makes a free platform possible in the first place, and what happens when that system begins to break down. Ad blockers may feel insignificant on an individual level, but at scale, they have real consequences affecting creator income, content quality, and the platform's long-term future. That doesn't mean viewers are wrong to dislike ads, or that YouTube should be excused for poor ad experiences. It means the issue is more complex than it appears. Blocking ad blockers isn't simply about control, it's an attempt to preserve the underlying trade the platform was built on: free content in exchange for some form of support, whether through ads, subscriptions, or direct contributions to creators. You don't have to like that trade, but once you understand it, it becomes harder to see every warning, skip, or interruption as meaningless.